Well, hello everyone. Welcome. I am. I don't think you can see my cursor on this thing right now for some odd reason. Well, I don't know if I can fix that with this kind of recording. I'm trying a new way to record and to well do everything, I guess. So we'll see how it goes. And of course, if you enjoy, please like, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Anyways, let us continue the story. So, something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile listen. So many to choose from. We'll go with. What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
That's a good question. I don't know what I am.
I think that you are like me.
Thank you.
We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
So, mind you, I tried to make a video recording earlier, like fucking 5 days or 8 days ago, and it didn't record any of my audio, and I found out that in my settings I messed up, and I was just so irritated I just haven't recorded, so my apologies, but we shall continue. Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
Interesting.
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Fair point. I think. What happens now? Or do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
Interesting. What happens now?
Nothing, as we are, but I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to.
Interesting.
Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Alrighty.
She asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Oh. Well, shit. Chapter 1. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
I don't mind if the world ends. I'm pretty sure I can click that one. I think that's it. Oh goodness.
You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them.
Exactly.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Once again, we will just enter the basement and not take the blade.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice softly carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Wait a minute.
It's hypnotizing. It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation. You're playing a dangerous game by coming here unarmed.
Nah. So, it's interesting is how
Don't be a stranger. It's been so long since I've had any visitors. Please, come downstairs.
Alrighty.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful. How could someone like this be of threat to anyone? I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Well, of course I can. Examine the chains.
You're only making this more difficult.
Nah.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug.
Yeah, those are some thick chains.
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Oh,
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
I don't. It was
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
Thank you.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
Since it seems like everything's going the same, we'll just return to the basement.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they?
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from behind you, the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now. Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
Nobody stops me. Same as the princess.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged, self-inflicted wound on the princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her to this place. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the bone of her arm. Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound through the whole ordeal. No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the ground. How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your body steps forward and raises the blade. Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
What are you doing?
Warner.
Stop
so
that.
Everything seems to be the same.
Something's come over you, hasn't it?
What happens?
You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body lunges forward, the blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges, stumbling back against the wall before the blade has a chance to connect. Stop it! Stop trying to resist me! I'm trying to get you out of here alive!
What? Oh, it's not the same. I can't resist. Oh. Is there any other one? Slice. Well, shit. If we were a bard, this would mean something else. But by judging our hand, I don't think we're a bard.
Thank you.
Damn.
There's no getting through to you right now, is there? A betrayal of will is still a betrayal. You'll regret thinking of me as a helpless damsel.
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart.
Oh.
It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you. She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric. If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're... It can't just end like this,
My apologies.
right? As much as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The witch.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world. A terrible sense of déjà vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog. I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show. We could go back and forth on this forever, and it won't get you any closer to doing your job and saving the world. So let's just agree to disagree.
Fair enough. Wait, I can do it again. Okay, whatever. What?
A warning. before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
Alrighty.
Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done.
Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's the muddy shelf, the blade sitting on the muddy shelf, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror, but he says there isn't one. That's got to count for something, right? Come on now. He's pretty much in charge here. When have authority figures ever lied about anything? If there were a mirror in this cabin and we were supposed to look at it, he would have told us about it.
Interesting.
Exactly. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done. You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny. You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. Well, at least we can all agree now that there's nothing to see here. Case closed. Good work, everyone.
Interesting. I think we'll take the blade.
You take the blade from the shelf. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Well, if we're grabbing a weapon, we should probably keep it hidden behind our backs. She doesn't have to know we have it. That's not actually a bad idea. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw waiting to swallow you up into the earth. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite. But you are. You're a wretched little thing. I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else.
Exactly.
She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk? You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And there you are, one hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
Exactly. Ugh.
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. Now she's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us, do you? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy.
Oh, true.
Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
Oh.
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Interesting.
Oh, smart. Let's apologize, get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster.
No, I don't think she liked it.
If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
I get the sense you're not happy with me.
Is that a joke? Do you think a joke will charm my trust back? You'll have to try harder than that.
Yeah.
And why would I do such a thing? Is someone's guilty conscience getting to them? But I wouldn't worry. As much as I may hate you, letting you live is in my best interests. If you get me out of here, the only thing that will be dead and buried is the bad blood between us.
Oh, that nagging feeling you mentioned is me, by the way. I'm actually a little anxious about a potential backstabbing event. She needs us to get out of here. We'll be fine if that's what we decide to do. You won't be fine because destruction is in her nature. If she gets out of here, that's it for the world, remember? Even if that's true, that doesn't automatically mean she's going to stab us in the back. I think that depends on your definition of words like stab and in the back. She might not literally do that, but she could very well symbolically do the same thing. See? He gets it. There's nothing wrong with looking out for number one.
Oh, Jesus.
Just because I'll never trust you doesn't mean I won't use you to get what I want. The cabin lets prying little beasts like you come as you please, but it insists I stay where I am. If I'm to leave, I'm to leave with you, and you alone.
You can't be serious.
I'm gonna give her the blade.
Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of our most valuable assets. We can't just give it to her.
You hear me?
What if she uses it to kill us? I vote no. As do I. I abstain. You abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her. You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet. She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
Gosh darn this. I don't like this.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart away.
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's not going to work on me.
And then she buries the blade in your heart.
I should have picked the love one. I should have picked the beautiful one. Why didn't I pick the beautiful one?
What? No, come on, that's not right. I told you this is what she was going to do. Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
I did it! I got you! You...
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly, replaced with concern. Her nervous eyes brim with tears.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 3. The Sword.
You're on a path in the woods. She stabbed us. She actually stabbed us. Of course she stabbed us. We gave her the blade, which, I might add, I voted against. But the whole point was that she wasn't supposed to do that. The whole point of giving her the blade was to break the cycle of violence, and she just killed us anyway. I guess it really doesn't matter if she killed us though, right? We're back here, which means that everything's fine, or fine adjacent. Maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change. Maybe that's all it'll take to show her that there's another way to do things. You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try. Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? Like that changes anything. We all know the game is rigged. It doesn't even matter if she's nice this time. I'm sure he'll find a way to turn us against each other. Great, so you've obviously been here before, since you apparently died at least once. Twice, actually. Sure. Twice. Then I'll spare you the little introduction I had planned. You already know about the princess, and clearly you already know that she's dangerous. So don't muck this up. It's bad enough that this isn't your first time through. Please don't. I'm with him. If our previous encounters have taught us anything, it's that freeing her is a bad idea. Let's just see how the wind blows. I'm not opposed to saving her, but let's not rule anything out just yet. Let's see what she has to say. Stop sitting on the fence and pick a side already. We don't need you waffling when things get hairy. I've already picked a side. Our side. I'm here to make sure that whatever happens, we wind up on top. Because that's worked out great so far. Well, we're not out of the game yet, are we? And again, I'll have you know, I wouldn't have gotten us killed last time. I wanted to stab her in the back, not hand over our precious backstabbing implement. It isn't long before you find yourself at the base of the cabin. I think it's clear where everyone stands at this point. I don't know if I'd say everyone. You talking about me? I have a position. It's a good one too. Ignore him, he's just talking for talking's sake. My position is the only one that matters. The princess is a threat to you. She's a threat to me, and most importantly, she's a threat to the world. You know what you have to do. The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned-out ruins merely suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? We gave it to her last time. She can't still have it, can she? Well, it's not here. And if she has it, let me guess, you want to get all chummy with her.
Oh, goodness.
Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him and her, I say we side with the one who has the weapon. It's just the smart thing to do. I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work. Of course we don't get to make a choice about the blade. Every single time we come back here, something has to be different. You're right, the mirror is back. There isn't anywhere for us to go. But there isn't a mirror. I still don't get his angle here. Seems like whatever we do, he's always going to say it isn't there. He's either a liar, or he doesn't hold all the cards. But I think we already knew it had to be one of those. So, is the door to the basement behind the mirror? I promise you there isn't a mirror, and there isn't a door to the basement. The entrance is more of a burned-out frame than anything else, and it's right there on the far side of the room. Do you really not see it? You step forward and approach the scorched entryway leading to the basement, hesitating before you begin the descent. went away when we touched it last time. Not that this place always follows the same rules. You reach forward and wave your hand through the hollow entrance leading to the basement. You really thought there was a mirror there, didn't you? That can't be good. As if things weren't unpredictable enough. Figures. Well, seems like the only way to go is forward, isn't it? Yes, that's where everything tends to be. Let's just put on a good face and have our wits about us.
Exactly. We'll have a nice smile on our face and be good chums. Enter the basement.
You step through the frame of scorched wood and make your way into the darkness below. The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet fresh shoots of thorny branches are already weaving themselves through the soot-covered earth of the walls around you. Their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease, at least on the way down. But you don't need to think about the way back up just yet. That's a matter for after the world's been saved.
Interesting.
I'd say this feels like a trap, but you practically said as much. Yet you still want us to keep going.
Goodness.
They're only thorns. I'd say getting a few scratches in exchange for the lives of everyone in existence is a fair trade. I'm sure you'll manage. Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I? You betray me, I kill you, and you come back. You let me kill you, and you come back. I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern, now overrun by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation.
Oh, she does that normally.
At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines, is the princess, her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to laugh?
No.
I want to trust you.
Her grip tightens on the blade.
But you're hiding something, aren't you? Why would you help me if you weren't helping yourself? I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
She's right, there's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. Careful with that one. He's not the smooth negotiator he thinks he is. But it does feel like we're stuck until we do something. If there's even anything to do besides make things worse. We're not making things worse. I think she wants to trust us.
Interesting.
You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens and she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms.
I'll be damned. She really gave it to us.
It feels like it's been so long since we've held real power in our hands. I wonder what we should do with it. We free her, obviously. It's the right thing to do.
I think you're right. She's as much a victim in all of this as we've been. Besides, it would really stick it to him to free her. Or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that, we may never get another chance.
He's just
That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him.
We've all said our piece. Now it's time to make our move.
It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count?
Because he's clearly not one of us.
That doesn't matter. He's been with us the whole time. He should get a say.
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
Gosh, dang.
Yes, what a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her? You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision. I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess. Even if he'll stick a knife in our back as soon as he has the opportunity, it's still better to have him nominally on our side. At least that gets him to shut up for a while. See? We're all friends here, united in our actions and intentions. Yeah, united. But the other one has a point. If it keeps you quiet, sure, we're all friends. You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches, relaxing only slightly as the blade slices into the thick vegetation rather than her arm. And she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if, after all of that, she's still expecting you to turn on her and stab her in the heart. But you're not going to do that, are you? Still, all it would take is a single slip of the blade.
Is that really all you've got, threatening us with an accidental misstep? I expected more from you.
Our blade didn't even waver when he said that. Yeah, you're right, he's a bit of a nobody, isn't he? Good thing I've been on your side of all this since the beginning. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
Oh, you're welcome.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
She smiles, her hand slipping into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking your only way out.
You're getting desperate, aren't you? Even more proof that you can't actually do anything to stop us.
We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of the way. What a pathetic showing, really.
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
As you step into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? What did the world ever do to you to deserve this? It feels so good to hear you say that you're admitting you've lost and we've bested you at your own game at last. I don't care what happens now. That's all I've wanted. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your last chance. We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Hands clasped, the two of you open the door and step out into a new day, you irredeemable murderers.
What do we do now? Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
Well, the sad thing begins.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now? But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it.
No, you're right.
If they think it's bad, I'm with them. Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. So, this is all going to work out. Finally, we're going places.
Interesting.
Flickering lights and empty cityscapes become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
Well, everyone, I think this is a good time to stop the video. I've been recording for quite a while. So, yeah, thank you all for watching. And please,